David, this week something from China. It's big.
Very big.
It's got power.
It does indeed.
It's a plug-in hybrid.
Yes, it's got technology.
All right, David, hit me with it. What is it?
It is a GWM Cannon Alpha PHEV.
David, I never thought I would hear myself saying this, but this is an absolute cracker.
Oh, they're putting their technology together very well, aren't they?
Absolutely astounding. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to point out all of the reasons why I think this is currently beating anything from Japan and possibly anything from America or wherever the ranges are made.
It's a case of development. 10 years ago I drove a Haval and thought, that's not a bad car, needs another generation. I got another generation and it had far more technology in it, but it needed to be refined. I drove one the other day and boy have they come a long way.
They sure have, and this has got the same drive or a similar drivetrain. It's a plug-in hybrid with a 37 kilowatt, well 37 and some change, kilowatt hour battery, which means is good for, they say 110, but I think we've got a little more than that.
On battery alone,
Sorry, on battery alone, yeah.
On the front, it is big, a pretty standard sort of grille, but sexy looking lights, and this symbol here, which has essence of toilet seat about it, I think. It's not really
It does too. And David, the whole thing, this whole front forms a graphic that appears in the ambient lighting above the glove box. It looks strange on the front and even stranger on the glove box.
Yeah.
There's one thing I want to point out, David, that this is around 64,500 drive away.
Yeah.
That's up to 30 to 40,000 cheaper than the top Hilux, the Navaras, they're also that much, Rangers. This is much cheaper than all of them. David, I want to show you a couple of things. First of all, there's a little button here and that is for the smart locking. There's also a smart tailgate, which is absolutely brilliant. I'll show you that in a tick. Inside the back, you open this up, and believe it or not, that is electric. That seat is electric. It slid back a little bit, so you can adjust it backwards and forwards. You can see we've got all manner of stuff in here, which you always do with utes, because you can't stick your gear in the actual ute bit. There's a center console with a pop-out cup holder, second phone charger, and a little whatnot box. Down below is the console, and you'll notice there's seat heating and cooling for the two outboard seats. And the center button below, that is for the electric rear window. You'll notice also there's some buttons on the front seat so that that person in the back seat can move the front seat forward to give them a little extra space. Overhead, the glass sunroof actually opens with an electric cover. And on the side, a little accessories slot with a little rolling cover.
Is this something you keep, like cigarettes, if you want to go out for
perhaps
a smoke?
a pack of fags or something like that, or your torch.
Torch, I think you mentioned, yeah.
Would be remiss not to mention that paintwork, that iridescent white is absolutely stunning. And then we've got petrol on one side and electricity on the other. Remember, this is a plug-in hybrid. What a strange place for the spare.
It's sort of a hillbilly in a way, isn't it?
It did have a cover on it, but it was flapping around too much, so I took it off and put it inside. I've just noticed that this switch has got a little bit more space at the top, at the bottom. If you press it up and then in, it works. So the switch itself must be faulty. So here you go. There's the little bit open. Here's the other little bit open. And you can see this massive tray which has a spray finish on it. And then closing it, just close that. Now, I'll do it again. And the whole thing drops down. So, most of the tailgates that are really, really light have electric assist. Now, I'm doing that with 3 fingers. So a quick press opens just the side one. A longer press opens the entire tailgate. There's a view of the rear suspension, and while we're about it, unlike most of them on the market, this has rear discs as well. Inside the front is nothing short of amazing. I'm going to turn this on first. Whoops. I want to point out the full LCD screen for the driver, massive LCD touchscreen for the infotainment system, and the wireless David Apple CarPlay. And then in front, not sure if you can see it, but about there is the full-size head-up display that projects out of the square box on the dash. We've got some genuine fake artificial wood, infinity speakers, electric mirrors, etc., etc. Down on the center console, we've got a whole range of buttons, including drive modes and all of the four-wheel drive stuff. Seat heating and cooling. The EV controls for EV and HEV to switch between them. And then while this screen is up, you've got automated parking that you can get in and out. You've also got reverse tracking, so it remembers
parking exit.
So if you drive down a steep driveway, it will go out exactly the same way, though a couple of these things haven't liked hills very much. The automated parking and reverse tracking doesn't like hills. And you can also make the chassis of the car clear, though I can't think why you would want to do that. We've got a Maserati-esque clock that looks rather smart. Some individual controls for air conditioning, though, as David pointed out, the only way to get easily to the air conditioning control was to turn it off and back on again, where the screen pops up, which includes things like sync and individual controls and so forth. And a nice deep center console bin. Finally, a front wireless phone charger. Though it has to be said, it is snail's pace, David. I had my phone in it yesterday and it barely kept up with keeping the phone at 5% while I was on the phone to you. The beauty of a PHEV, or a PHEV as David and I like to call it, is the fact that you get an amount of time in pure EV mode. David?
Which is quiet, non-polluting in the local sense, and it's a feeling and good power that you get, that responsive power of an electric motor.
And unlike most PHEVs, this one has 50 kilowatt DC fast charging for its 37 kilowatt hour battery, which frankly makes the world of difference when you're really in a hurry.
It's going to change our attitude to it. I've tried charging one of these with the old 3-point plug, and it'll take you
19 hours.
25, 26 hours. But it becomes worthwhile if you go to the shops and that to plug into the DC charger.
Well, the other thing, David, is that you can take this away camping. You can carry on. Do you remember? Now we're in EV, or the engine's just got in. Do you remember carry on camping?
Oh yeah, indeed.
Right. You can do that in this car, David, and you can, with the help of an accessory, plug that into your DC fast charge port, and you can power your campsite. Would you like to power your campsite from this car?
Sorry, I'm just thinking of Barbara Windsor.
Oh, you mean with the...
And doing the exercises on the top.
Oh, God, and the bra flinging off. David, can you do me a favour? Go in and turn that bloody overspeed warning off.
Okay. In my specialist subject, I go into home.
Hold on. This is my spot that I pull up always to turn off. Okay, so what you've got to do is go into car.
Okay.
Then you go into smart drive. Then you go into traffic signs.
Of course.
Then you go down to the bottom and switch off overspeed warning. And you've got to do that
you've got to confirm it
every single time you get in the car, or else you get a little bloop.
And of course,
I think we're stupid or something.
And who has finally come to see the light?
The Hyundai group. Yeah. Press and hold them. Actually, I don't know that doesn't work on this. Let me... No, it doesn't. Has no effect. What, as we keep saying, David, what good are all these things if they're so annoying that you have to turn them off? Now, this is getting through these bends with David alacrity.
It sits comfortably on the road.
I find it very capable.
It's a big car, and if you start to go a little bit more like a sedan, I think there's a little bit of a feel of the scrubbiness of the tyres, but that's because it's a ute.
Now we're getting onto the bit of road, David, that is what I would term, I mean, it's well kept, but it is a little bit, how's your father? It's cement, it's not very cooperative, and in some cars we've been in, David, I've chipped a tooth. A lot of people don't believe that. Now, David, I am going to turn on the smart cruise control. Watch what happens when I do.
Intelligent cruise activated.
First of all, I don't need to tell me that I don't need it to. Oops, daisy. That I don't need it to tell me that it's activated the intelligent cruise control. I just need it to do it.
The only thing is,
So annoying.
there are 2 levels of cruise control.
Yeah, one tug gives you normal cruise control, so normal smart cruise control, and then the intelligent cruise control also turns on the steering. Now here's the interesting thing, that the van that was right up my clacker jumped in front of me less than 2 seconds in front, but the Cannon slowed down. So the minimum distance it'll have between you and the car in front is 2 seconds. So that's good, but of course this is Australia, and if you leave a 2 second gap, what happens?
People are going to cut in.
They do. I have been so impressed.
Yeah, value for money, the quality. Remembering, as we said, an awful lot of utes are still pretty basic.
Well,
I mean, I drove one the other day with a manual handbrake.
well, here's the thing. There are utes that are consistently in the top 10, and the top 2 cars over the last probably 2 years have been either Ranger or Hilux, and they swap places depending on which boat comes in. You cannot tell me that there's like 5,000 or whatever it is tradies a month buying a Ranger and 4,999 buying a Hilux, and then Triton I think is in it as well. I refuse to believe that of the 1.3 million cars sold in Australia, 300,000 of them are tradies every year. Again.
But you see, this is a dual cab, which is, I believe, the most popular model, which is as much to do with putting family and things in the back as it is to do with being a tradie.
Well, you've had...
well, they might be both and or, but the family component is a very strong one.
I think with this raft of new utes on the horizon, David, the motoring community is in for a bit of a change over the next few years. The Chinese cars are becoming much more popular and they're far more cost effective, at least so far.
And they have all the features of a modern car. There's still a lot of utes on the market that are rather old-fashioned inside.
That's right. But as always, hit like.
Leave a comment.
And just over on the little round thing to subscribe.